Hello, and welcome to the first ever Twats by the Sea podcast. I am your host, Monty, and I'm just going to introduce myself a little bit. So, I am a youth. I'm a young person. That's not a good fucking start, is it? And we're just going to record a nice podcast for you to listen to on your walk home with us having a few beverages on a Friday night.
Friday nights.
First of all,
if that doesn't give it away.
First of all, I'm going to introduce my friends who are joining me on this one. So across from me, I have Sydney.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm good. Why don't you want to introduce yourself, Sydney? Go on, tell us a little bit about you.
I'm a nice beefy male specimen of the human race. I like my beers. After a nice stressful week, get to chill out with the boys and all that. And of course from me, I'm joined with Turbo.
Turbo from Colombia. That's where the name comes from. And one thing I'd like to establish now, Monty is not going to speak in that accent and the voice he just done for the beginning. The entire time. So, I'm recording the podcast. He has a personality.
That's what it was. It was meant to be relaxing, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it might sound a little bit monotone, but it was meant to be relaxing. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Turbo. Go on.
I'm not a beefy specimen.
The exact opposite.
Yeah, so me and Monty are not the beefiest of specimens. I too like beer, and the occasional
Lazoo,
marijuana. So does Sydney as well.
I do join on the adventures.
So to give our viewers, listeners, a little bit of a view, right? So we said we weren't going to share too much. We've given ourselves different names. I said I wasn't going to say that in the podcast, but I have now.
Well, no, everyone needs to know.
Yeah.
Really.
So
Sydney slipped up already, so we're going to cut that bit out just to make our lives a bit easier, hide our embarrassments from our personal lives.
So, what's this podcast about? This podcast is about us being young, sharing our fucking
youths.
Being youths.
Sharing our opinions about the world and just chatting a bit of shit over a few beers, I think. So
100% every single Friday.
Whilst enjoying the sea air.
The sea air, of course.
Right, so let's start off by talking about how we actually all met each other. Let's start there, right? So I'm going to share a little bit of a story about how I met Turbo. So it's not much of a story to us.
I don't think you'd remember, mate, after all these beers that you've had. How long have we known each other? 5 years?
Yeah, 5, 6 years.
5, 6 years. So in that time, Monty has consumed probably the world's supply of Budweiser.
I'm an alcoholic, just for a bit of context.
And then me and Turbo are stoners.
Yeah.
Stoners and an alcoholic.
Yeah. 100%. But yeah, we all met at high school, didn't we?
Yeah. So I used to know this kid who had a hole in his chest. And it sounds weird, right? But it was like a fucking crater, that thing. We were married, it was like a crater.
Yeah.
And so I met him, and I sort of thought, that's a pretty cool hole in his chest there. Next thing I know this other kid who was pointing at a hole in his chest and was like, that's also a pretty fucking cool hole in his chest. And next thing we know, we're playing Minecraft together and chilling out and having a good time.
That's us at 13, 14, isn't it?
Yeah, 13, 14. If you think that's how I met Turbo, I mean, Sydney, I don't know how we met actually.
I don't know how we met, but I remember joining the friend group. It was like maybe year 9, 14, 15, got bored of my friend group. So I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, joined us. It was quite easy for you. You just transitioned straight in, pretty much at home, weren't you?
Well, I'm a very outgoing person.
After a few beers,
That's what you get when you're beefy, don't you?
Yeah.
That's one word for it. But no, I mean, the guy with the hole in his chest, just if anyone's still confused, he actually does have like his chest dips in, doesn't it?
Yeah. It goes in like a crater. It's quite a big.
It's quite weird.
If he ever listens to this, he's gonna know.
He's
exactly.
Gonna be furious. He's not gonna be happy.
His biceps are too big now, anyway.
Very true. He loves a bit of gym.
Yeah. So let's just talk about a little bit about what it's like to be us in a small town. So all of us live along the south coast, and most of us live
of England.
of England, and most of us live in a small town. What's it like, really? It's fucking dead here.
It is dead, but it's good.
That's why all you can do is meet up and make a podcast,
Yeah,
right?
you have to entertain yourselves.
I mean, there's a reason that me and Monty don't work in the town that we live in.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, there's not much going on, right? So the town that we live in is old people central. You know,
Which is majority of the seaside towns in South England anyway.
It really is. There's just so many old people about where we live.
It's that they call one of the bordering towns to us. What do they call it? The
God's waiting room.
God's
God's
waiting
waiting
room.
room.
That's it. God's waiting room.
Yeah, they do.
But
Yeah.
I mean, we have to entertain ourselves when we were growing up. We didn't go to we didn't.
There wasn't anything to do.
There wasn't like in London or wherever you've got stuff to do, you've got places to eat, stuff like that. Around here, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Well, that was the biggest change when I moved down here. Because obviously I came from living in South London,
Yeah.
and then I moved down here, and it was so different.
Yeah.
There was just nothing, no car noise at night, no nothing. It was just hearing birds chirp in the morning.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because it's actually like when you go outside, like at night, it's literally dead. There's there's literally no one. Everything shuts at 11. If you go out later than that, everything.
The only cars
Yeah.
you see is taxis.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
There's
the
no
taxis
cars.
own the street.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
I mean, a lot of that is good though, because it's like there's not many roadmen or anything, is there? Really?
Nah.
If they are, they will hang around the parks and that's
Yeah.
it. And when we were younger, we actually hung around the parks.
We did, yeah, especially when we were
just
drinking.
bad. So.
But I mean, how do you like for anyone who's not in England, they're not going to know what a roadman is, probably. How do you explain? We also
How do
call
you
him a chap as
explain
well,
roadman?
don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
So-
that is, yeah.
So Turbo's brother. That's one way.
All right, here we
That's
go.
one way of explaining.
They will probably
Charming.
they'll probably be on a small BMX with a massive puffer jacket, even if it's 40 degrees outside.
Or a mountain bike.
Or
There
a
is
mountain bike, yeah.
Always smoking cigarettes because that's fucking
Yeah,
bad, isn't it?
always, yeah.
No, and weed. Weed is the primary intake for them. They don't
Yeah.
eat food or drink. They just
You
smoke
really
weed.
are just like explaining your brother, aren't you?
For the most part.
How much detail can I go into about my brother?
But it's the way they dress as well. Like it's
They'll have a hoodie, but then also like a sleeveless puffer jacket.
and yeah, they wouldn't be the most approachable people, would they?
No.
They
We're
would
quite
just
approachable, aren't we? We're not roadmen. We're quite approachable people. I like to think anyway.
As long as I had a few beers, yeah, approach me whenever you like.
I think Sydney looks quite. I'd approach Sydney in a bar.
It's got a kind face, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd give a nice hug.
Yeah, Turbo's a little bit different. I think I wouldn't approach Turbo in a bar because he his haircut and stuff. He looks a little bit road man. I think I'd be a little bit. No, I genuinely would.
Right,
If
so
I
this
say
is the
it-
sort
no,
of
no, no,
things
if
that
I-
doesn't come out because we've got an external person potentially listening to this, right? So now I'm hearing what he would tell other people. Slightly offended, not gonna lie.
No, do you not think that?
No, well, yeah, I guess a little bit, but it's it's I live in the roadman town, don't I? You guys are out of the town most of the time with work and stuff. aren't you?
Yeah.
So me and Sydney, we both work outside of our home.
Yeah, well, I do 750 miles a week.
Yeah, so I only do 100 miles a week, but I actually live outside of the town. Like
Yeah.
I moved out of home, so it's definitely like it's different.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like-
we see a different town vibe.
yeah, we do. I mean, Sydney's is more of a like an actual town, don't you? Whereas
Yeah.
I'm
You see
still
a
along
weekend
I'm still along the south coast. So.
Yeah, and you guys see the weekends, don't you? I'm here
All the time, yeah.
day in, day out, and of a weekday, if you imagine a place that nothing goes on, and then you imagine the weekday version of that, you could kill
Yeah.
someone, leave them in the street for 4 days, and
No
one
one
would
knows.
see.
I mean,
yeah,
the
there'll be
police
4
station-
old people dead next to them. Do you know what I mean?
The
Like,
police station's shutting down as well, so you've got all that as well.
Yeah.
It's meant to be, so
it's meant
I mean,
to be, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I suppose you see a lot of the town as well in your profession of jobs as well. There's a
Yeah,
lot.
I work in retail,
Let's talk
so-
about that a little bit. So
Not, yeah, not only do you work outside of this, it's you are in the
Oh,
busiest,
Yeah, I work in the one retail park in
like a 10-mile radius.
within about a 10-mile radius. Yeah, so of course everyone floods there.
That, I think.
And like for example, today car parking, right? There's I'm walking back, I've got my food for lunch, and I'm walking back, and I hear a load of beeping. Right, I look to my right, and this lady's reversing into a space, and this old woman, and this is just so our area to a T, has driven in behind where she's trying to reverse into, and just parked in the space and got out, like
Yeah,
oblivious. Like these
yeah,
old
yeah.
people cannot drive. Like, I watched a guy park once, like reverse park, parallel park, and I don't think his head moved at all the entire time.
Yeah, he just went back in there, didn't he?
He just-
it's all
yeah.
sensors, isn't it? That's all they can hear.
Yeah,
All their hearing
exactly.
aids.
Yeah, it's bad. It is bad. And you guys, I guess, you see a different walk of life, don't you? Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, not so much because I'm still on the south coast. So for me, it's all like still the same. You've got a little bit up where you work is a little bit more like when we come up.
Yeah, well, it's a very busy area.
Yeah, it's much more lively than
Yeah,
where we are. But yeah, go on. So Sydney, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm at the moment I'm an apprentice system administrator for a private school, and
See, so there you go. So he's
yes,
a system administrator for a school.
but not a state one. I don't deal with that pedant stuff. for the private education.
It has to be mentioned that it's a private.
Yes,
school.
it is a private education.
We only deal with private people.
Yes. Don't deal with them state.
Only deal
Hold
with
on. In America, private isn't it the other way around?
No.
Or am I going mad?
No,
You're
If you go to a
definitely
state
Still
school in
English.
America,
state. Yeah.
it's for what us would
Public.
be public
No, state-
school,
yeah,
where,
state-
where,
public,
like the
yeah.
high
Public,
school
yeah.
we went to.
Yeah, that was a state. Yeah, that was a
So
state.
state school.
Yeah.
And private, but I think
Private in the UK, a private just means you pay for it, and I assume that's the same in America.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, it's you're paying for that extra bit of education.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
In America, they have like community colleges, like community unis. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have them.
Whereas-
They're just for roadmen.
I don't know if we have them. Maybe.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
youth centres and stuff like
Yeah,
that. There
well,
is
they're-
there is
they're-
one
they're
in
just-
there is
yeah.
one in this town in the area we all know,
Uh,
the Roadman area. And but yeah, I mean the way it works in England as well is a lot of people that go to private schools are rich, or their family are rich, and they just go to these private schools for whatever reason, and then live off their parents' wages when they eventually die for the rest of their lives.
well, that's it, innit? But they're
From my
like-
experience,
they're like. Well, I've been to like a party with a lot of guys who are like that, and they're like proper. Up
oh yeah,
their
Monty
arses.
is gay. Can I just-
Well, I'll take that. I'll be gay, whatever, man.
This is what he says on a night out.
Well, I'll see you both later. Yeah, upstairs.
Oh
I
Christ!
think
You don't want too many beers.
Yeah, watch out.
gay sex. What's wrong with that?
With your cat? Sorry,
Oh, look.
your poor cat.
If I'd fuck a pig, I'd fuck a man.
Jesus.
He's literally our previous prime minister, or one of them.
So anyway, we strayed too far. We've done
This
it
is what
again.
happens. See,
We've
this is
strayed-
this is us in a nutshell. Though.
This is just genuine conversation.
We do stray. That is our thing. I think if we go back to what you were saying, so
I've
a
even
lot
forgot what I was
of, a
saying.
lot of people.
Oh, private schools. Yes.
How do you find your job? Is it alright?
I love it. Yes, yeah. 3 months left until I'm on qualified level 1 system administrator.
He loves it.
Do you?
I do.
What I always wonder, right, is sometimes like in America as well, they always like fuck their teachers. Sometimes you like look
Always.
I
I mean,
mean-
like, if you're in high school and you haven't fucked your teacher, then there's something wrong with you. You are probably gay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not here though.
Not here, no.
But like I'm thinking, you know.
No, but we do have one story where a teacher and one of the child flew off to France.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. No, but do you not have, is there not like a teacher that you see at school and you're like, oh fuck, I'd fuck her?
Well, yeah, but that's just because I don't through puberty.
Yeah, you're a young teenager, like.
You're a teenager with your hand, you'd be like, I can use that as my hand instead.
I don't know. I still think I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I think if you went back to high school now and actually saw them with a bit less horniness, you would.
Well, in
like,
high
nah.
school, you got to remember a lot
I
of the
didn't
time
see-
you're a virgin.
The
aren't
ones I didn't see any fit teachers at high school. We went to the same high school for context.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all went to the same high school. And we didn't.
I don't think do you think there was fit teachers?
There was
No.
3 that spring to mind to me.
Oh right, go on.
Yes.
I mean, you
Without,
can't really
without
share
mentioning
because
names,
they're
no.
names.
If you describe them,
Down.
though,
Well, there
because-
was one in
because people
maths.
will get an
There was
idea as well.
one in maths.
In maths. Yeah, I know
Yeah.
the one you're talking
Yeah,
about. Tall, probably not straight, but could have been straight.
Blonde?
No, dark, short hair. Do you remember she was there for like the last 2 years? We were at high school.
different people.
Different people.
Yeah.
Well, I can definitely confirm there's no fucking teachers I wanted to shag down. I didn't see a single one after.
No, I'm not saying that. Like, that everyone, she had a bit about her. She liked me a lot. I remember she came over and
Oh, here we go.
I was in one of
Came
my
over his
maths
house.
lessons. No, she came out of nowhere. So I'm doing my revisions. Right, this is when me and Monty were in the same set in maths. I think it must have been year 10, something like that. So it would have been what, 14, 15. She appears in my right ear lobe. Right. Hi, what's your name? And obviously, freaking out because I've got no social skills at that age. I say my name, and she says she loves my name. And it's like, well, that's lovely. Why are you telling me that? Like a normal teacher who has been experienced and been in the game for a while would not have said that. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like you can't single out kids.
Yeah. With favouritism, then you can't favourite a child.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'd single out some kids.
Oh, right.
This is what we need to say for legal reasons. That was a joke.
Legal reasons.
100%.
That was a joke. Yeah, I think no one's asked me yet, you rude fuckers. What do
We
I
don't
do?
care, though.
No one would get.
Go on, Monty. Tell your experience. Go on.
What, about work, or are we talking still about fucking teachers?
Well, what do you want to
Well,
talk
you've
about?
already said that.
Talk about, we've
you've already said
darted
that
around
you're gay,
enough.
So
We've darted around enough anyway.
What's wrong
so
with male teachers? Fuck them
He
too.
wants right.
Lots of French teachers, I'm like,
Oh.
yes.
Dad,
come here.
Oh, jeez. I'm very sure we're all thinking about the same person as well.
We are. So, Monty, to get away from this perverted chat we've got going on here that probably has no relevance,
Yeah.
tell us about your work, because I know you're so excited. And don't start talking to me like that one time when I actually asked what you did in a day and you broke it down from when you started work to the end of
Well,
it.
we've only got half an hour on the podcast, haven't we? So if I did that, that would be it for the fucking...
It would.
The
We'd be here till next week. We'd be here till next Friday.
Basically, I work in manufacturing. I am a degree apprentice, so I get a uni degree and I also work. And they pile a bunch of shit on me, but it's good fun and I fucking enjoy it.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
Hence, and you don't live in our area in the weekday,
No,
do you?
yeah.
So we don't see
I moved
you
away. I
that
don't live
much.
with my parents anymore, so it's quite good for someone who's young. I'd always recommend degree apprenticeships and shit. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't have a massive old pile of debt on my shoulders, so you know. Unlike some people. Unlike some people.
So myself, I've recently decided I'm not going to go back to university, and
This is Turbo speaking. Yeah.
This is Turbo, yeah, right. Colombian massive, right?
Pick up.
Yeah, this is where you get the cocaine from, right? That's why I'm staying anonymous. I did my first year at university, which everyone seems to push you to do. At least in my situation.
No, I think it's so massive.
It's almost seen as like the only thing that you can do to be successful.
A big business. It's like
big
big
business.
over it. It definitely is.
A massive business. And I did the first year, and before going, I didn't want to go. I went anyway because it's the easy path, it's laid out for you, and I hated it the entire time. And I remember calling Monty like once or twice a week and just saying how
you didn't like it.
It was terrible. And anyway, now fast forward to the end of my first year, I'm now in 16 grand's worth of debt, £16,000, which is in England a ton of money.
Fuck ton, yeah.
Yeah, fuck ton of money.
Well, that's about $18,500 roughly.
Whereas you
The human calculator.
Here he comes.
Roughly.
roughly
people
Roughly.
fact check you, you know.
They can fact check me all they like. Roughly, in today's market.
Good save.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, it's funny, right? Because it's like, so I do my degree apprenticeship, and it's like I'm in no debt. In fact, I've made like 12
You've
grand
got
this
money,
year.
yeah.
Whatever, so
Well, you
12 grand.
can be the alcoholic. I'm wrapping another beer.
Oh,
ASMR
baby.
now,
No,
here we
you
go.
gotta pop it off. Go on, pop it off.
Alright, hold on, do it. Sound effects. Watch you
Oh.
spill this.
Dad. Oh god.
Oh.
Do it again.
Oh,
yes.
it's proper ASMR that.
It's not alcohol, it's a stoner actually. Because if I'm going to be branded as the alcoholic, then I better drink up quicker, don't I?
Yeah, you better do. We're still in the teething stage, so we need to cut bits out when
if
we
you
all
hear a
slip up.
random cut, it's a slip up.
It's a slip up.
It's definitely a slip up. But we're all going to do it. So.
I mean, I've made one. Turbo's made one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all going to happen. Monty's yet to make it.
You're yet to do one. Watch it by the end of this bit.
Once I finish this one, I'm on to my next. That's it.
So, Monty, considering he's dying to chat about himself,
Look, you got to love yourself, otherwise
you got to love yourself. So tell us about the thing before we came on here, before we started recording this, we were holding ourselves back from telling each other about stuff that had happened in our day or in the past week that was a bit
because we weren't talking about
weird or worth mentioning. And this is going to be the first time me and Sydney are going to be hearing this.
Yeah, so it's just a story about my day, right? So it's a little known fact. I'm trying to learn Spanish. We all know as soon as I go on holiday, I come back and I'm like gassed to learn a language.
That's such a fact.
It is. It
happens once a year.
It happens once a year. I sort of like, that's it. I'm gonna fucking learn a language. I do it every single fucking year, and I'm not bilingual. I only speak English. I really want to learn another language. Yeah. So anyway, I've been learning Spanish the last few weeks, right? And at work, and we have this bloke, right? And he's Portuguese. So I'm thinking, right. Maybe he's Portuguese. Like maybe I can speak some Spanish to him, right? So he bumps into me. Actually, I bumped into him. I bumped into him.
You like it?
And I go, Lo siento. I do. What's wrong with that? We're in the 21st century, bitches. if I want to suck some cock, I'll do it. Now, what
like
we were
one
doing...
of our friends with the holy boy. He's anonymous.
Hang on.
He's going to be angry though.
Yeah.
He's going to be very angry.
So what happened? Excuse me.
Can
I tell my fucking story?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. All
He's
right.
getting aggressive.
I know it's going to sound like a monologue, but it's my story, right? So what happened was, right, so I bumped into him, I go, Lo siento, which is sorry in Spanish, right?
Lo siento, yeah.
He turns around to me and he goes, no way. He's like, no fucking way.
In English?
No.
In Spanish?
Yeah. And he turns.
You are joking.
And he turns
As
around
if you know what that means.
No, yeah, I did.
That's okay. Yeah.
Everyone knows how to swear. So what he did is he turns around to me.
Yeah.
And he goes, hola. And he's like, ¿Cómo está? And he's like trying to speak to me. Like, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no. And then he was trying to he went off on like a whole tangent in Spanish. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do I even say to him? Like, I didn't even understand a single thing he said after that. So I was like, looking at it, I was like, I don't know that much. Because I've literally only been learning it a week, which is probably as long as it would last. And yeah, I thought it was quite a fun.
You said it now on record. You got to do it. You've got to learn it, mate.
I've got to learn it. I know it's on the
110%. Monty has slipped up, so we're stepping back, but he's not going to remember where we left off from. So.
I am. Monty will be on next week's podcast explaining how he has given up speaking
English.
Spanish.
As soon as you
I already know English. I fucking hope I don't speak that. Otherwise, I'm a fucking potato.
Well, as soon as you have 3 or 4 beers, it's like English. Sorry.
But I thought Spanish and Portuguese were very different.
No. He knows Spanish and Portuguese.
Oh, right.
No, they're not that different actually.
And English, so he knows 3 languages, and we're sitting here
speaking
one.
Yeah, we're quite ignorant though. We're from the south coast, It's a big race.
Or just England in general, just like everyone speaks English. We can leave it.
We'll leave it. Yeah. Apart from half the population speak different languages.
Yeah, but as well as English.
Because they're like, come over it. But anyway, crack open your fucking beer, please. I can't watch you do that anymore.
Oh,
baby.
That actually made the strangest of sounds.
We've cut again. We've had to cut again.
It will get better.
It will get
Teething
better.
problems, okay? Teething problems.
It's our first episode. Oh, you fucker, the vape's run out of charge. This is why I didn't give it to you.
I used it twice.
If you can hear some like random noise in the background.
I'm charging the vape. Go on, Turbo, starting conversation.
Okay.
I mean, I've got my story that I can delve into.
Go.
mean, the last 2 or 3 days, I've been having some car issues, and Turbo's an avid car enthusiast.
I am. That's the name.
Yes. He likes it. He likes a bit of cars. And so I was driving home from my nice little trek home, nice little 2-hour drive home. I was about 20 miles away from home, and a massive stoplight comes on in my car with a picture of the battery, and I was in a nice country lane doing 60 as I should.
100%.
I got a black box. I had to. For anyone who doesn't know what a black box is, I don't know if it isn't everywhere.
It isn't actually. It's not in a lot of countries.
Yeah, so a black box in the UK it makes your insurance so much cheaper, but it records like everything you do. So I got one of them. So I was going down country lane, couldn't pull over, so I drove for about 7 miles, which is a massive stoplight on my car. Pulled over at the next service station that I found, turned it off, turned it back on again, the light went out. Carried on driving home. About 4 miles before I got home, came back on. Drove to work and back the next day with a stoplight on. And that's about a 130-mile round trip. With a stoplight on. So, and then after that, I asked Turbo, how bad is this? Should I be driving my car? And he goes, come into my work and we'll test it for you.
Can we be clear here that I don't have any knowledge on cars whatsoever? I just have the facilities to be able to test stuff, okay? So, he comes into work this morning and I get the tester and we test it out, and it turns out his alternator's gone on his car.
Oh, really?
So, this is all for Monty's benefit here. He doesn't know any of this.
Right.
He comes in brisk and early. I'm hardly woken up, and he goes to me, come sort me out. So he goes to the garage that he's booked in, and how much did it come to for the quote?
The quote was £460.
Fuck me.
Jesus. But they didn't have any room. Unfortunately, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I popped back to Turbo's work, and I got my battery tested for the voltage, and that's when it was like, yeah, it's definitely the alternator. So I called around a few garages, because we have an absolute fuck ton of garages in our town.
We do.
So there is a surprisingly large amount.
There's so many.
Well, there's a lot of people who can rip off old people in there. So.
Yeah,
that is what this town thrives on, isn't it?
There's so I called around, finally managed to find one that was free. Went in there, but that quote only.
Monty has just spilled his beer.
It has foamed everywhere. He's managed to contain most of it.
Even though you drink the most beer out of all of us, that still happens.
Yeah, I think when you're an alcoholic, sometimes you
you need it too much.
You're not used to it. Yeah, you let it all foamed up because you're like, oh fuck, I've got to drink it all now. Go on, sorry.
No, yeah. So then, eventually, my car gets repaired the same day, and it comes to £299 and 26p.
Fuck, that is a lot of money.
And so yes, my car's now repaired, but my bank is very much damaged.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially on apprentice wage. If you know, you know.
I know. I can't believe that though. So that car's not that old, is it? Well, it's just
08
an old
plate. It's an 08 plate.
Yeah, but like you haven't had it for that long.
£6.
Do you know how the alternator goes wrong? What is that?
Well, they told me
There we go, turbo coming in.
That if he can, which this idiot drove 130 miles. Little did the guy telling me this new. If you keep using a car when the alternator is not right, it will actually ruin your battery as well.
Well, it's not recharging it. Yeah,
it's not recharging your battery.
Oh,
so
of course, yeah, because that's what recharges the battery.
Yeah, exactly that.
So you're just using your battery like with nothing to charge.
So it needed to be done, didn't it?
It had to be. Yeah. It had to be. Yeah.
Unless you get a little hamster. I'm bonnet that runs around. You place it up against the engine, so it's so hot it has to keep running.
See, you're so humane, aren't you?
Yeah, so humane.
Monty. I've had a day of it actually, you know. So today working in retail, obviously I get a lot of the general public.
Can I go for a wee or are you right?
Do you need a wee?
Yeah, I'm just gonna piss out there.
Right.
Out in the gone.
This is great, my story. You don't value me whatsoever, do you?
Nah. We'll go for a piss break. We'll go for a piss break.
So we're back from the wee. Essentially, where I began, I was talking about my story that happened today. So I've had Sydney in the morning, starting my day off lovely. And then obviously working in retail, you get the general public coming in. And I had another story. So there's kids which I later found out were they were 13. They would be in year 8 or 9 at school. So when we all met, really. And there's 2 guys and 1 girl. And I'm looking after the guy. And I say to him,
really?
Yeah,
So who's the gay one now?
Yeah. It's my job,
I'm
alright?
looking after the guys.
I'll do anything for money. So, I say to the guy, and his 2 friends are sitting on the floor behind him, I say to him, them 2 are laughing a lot. Are they friends or are they boyfriend and girlfriend? He said, no, they're friends. I said, yeah, give it a year or 2. They'll be together.
Sharing
and he
his
goes,
wisdom amongst the youths, even younger than us.
Mate, I'm a wisdomful
It's
guy.
my wisdom.
But then he turns around to me and he says, that's my girlfriend.
Oh, holy fuck! Did he really?
He did. So he turns around to me and says,
Jesus.
that's
Did you know
my
that,
girlfriend.
Did he tell you that?
No, I haven't heard that at all. I was lost for words.
This is. I was lost for words.
My God.
And this kid was 13, and I said the only thing I could reply with was, mate, how old are you? Because you dealt with that so well. And he told me his age, and he was 13. And the 2 people came over, and literally the most awkward thing I've ever had in my entire life.
Jesus Christ.
I had to explain the story to them as well.
That is fucking awkward.
That is bad.
That is very awkward. That goes down in history.
Give it a couple of years, and the poor kid, he's going to go thinking his girlfriend's cheating on him for the next 6 months of their
I did
date.
make it up to him. I said, look, if you 2, I said, if you 2 come back to me in 4 years' time, and you 2 are still together,
Oh my
I'll
God! Sounds like you're making it worse.
Yes, I did. I dug myself a hole.
Yeah,
alright.
you fucking did.
So no, but now they're
Didn't
winning.
he? Oh,
Now
come
they're
on.
winning. So I said, if you come back in 4 years' time and you 2 are still together, and you can prove you're still together, and you're not going to walk out the door and walk your separate ways. I said, if you can prove that you've had pictures, you've been to dinner and all sorts of stuff, and you're a proper relationship, right?
They're 13. They
This
are
sounds
13.
They were
Send me
were
your
loving
sex
it.
tape. Send me your fucking. I want to see you 2 fucking.
It was quite cute. It was appealing to me, alright?
At 13.
At 13, I said, I'll give you each £10. And the kid was so smart, he noted it down on his phone and set a reminder in 4 years' time. Stop burning stuff on the podcast.
So I'm just saying.
He's burning pages
He
of
burned
paper.
the beer paper.
He's burning the beer
all I'm
paper.
saying is that's fucking creepy, and you're a pedophile.
You are asking for 13-year-olds' pictures.
You are, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you heard it here first. Turbo is a pedophile.
I'm not accepting this.
No, that was a good story. Genuinely,
It was probably one of the most awkward things
Generally,
if I
that
think
is-
about awkward stuff that happens to me, and it does happen a lot, unfortunately.
Retail
working with
will.
the general public.
Retail,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But that
See, that's why I work in private schools.
that you've really in
listen to
manufacturing. There you go. That's
He's
talking on
flex.
there.
It's such a flex that was. Anyway,
That's why you work in a private school. I am
Oh.
a private.
All I see is 19 plates.
Yeah, that could be on finance. That doesn't mean anything. All I see is 19 base. I'm in a shithole area.
there's a load of nice cars by your area whenever I've been down there.
Yeah. I see Rolls Royces all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's everything.
Right.
Bit of ASMR.
Here you go, yeah. So we have decided that as a tribute to our first ever podcast, today we've talked shit for half an hour. I hope you enjoyed. And to fucking signal our first podcast, and probably every podcast past this
Yeah,
point,
probably. Yeah.
we are all going to have a shot of the precious, famous grouse bottle that's been in my fucking drawer for God knows how long.
Oh,
That
you've
turn
sipped
you
out
on?
of that
That
bottle
turn
and
on?
everything.
So-
There's about 20% saliva in there. Forget about the
Oh.
alcohol.
Sydney's gone straight for the one with tits on it.
Yeah.
Shot glass with tits on it.
Well, I mean, you're not going to have it because you're gay.
Fuck you. I'm not actually gay. Can we just actually clarify this? I'm really-
Why? I'm at work tomorrow. Why have I got a fat off one? Right, great.
To
He
signal
sorted me
the
out.
end of our first podcast. Thank you very much for listening.
If anyone made it,
If anyone made it to the fucking end, if you can stand our shit,
Congratulations.
Listen to episode 2, 1. Listen to episode 2. Listen to all of the fucking episodes. We're on Spotify, we're on SoundCloud, we're on Apple Music. We are on every fucking social media out
We're
there.
on your computer.
Follow us, Twats by the Sea.
Twats by the Sea.
Twats by the Sea. Cheers to that,
Cheers.
boys.